Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Alabama versus Georgia college football matchup on Saturday, September 28th, 2024. It's my favorite day of the week during my favorite time of the year, College Football Saturday. If you like all the free picks we do at Pickdawgz, you'll love our premium picks, our best bets. Just go to Pickdawgz.com, click on the Premium Picks tab. You can use the discount code PICK for any purchases that you make there. Of course, packages run between $15 all the way up to yearly packages. But if you make bigger bets and you on a consistent basis and you're looking for a long-term winning strategy for people with big bankrolls, we offer that as well. It's called our VIP. For that, though, it's our most expensive premium packages, but you just got to text the number if that's what you're interested in. But let's get to this one. Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The earth will move as the Crimson Tide of Alabama take on Georgia in what is a monster SEC matchup. You look at the trophy cases that these teams have piled up just over the last decade, and what you see is a lot of hardware. What's missing from this equation, of course, is ex-Alabama head coach Nick Saban. This is Alabama's first gigantic game in the post-Saban era. Alabama's had a few other games, right? They've got the season started, just like everybody else has, but they have not played a Georgia yet. They went on the road. They played Wisconsin 2 weeks ago. They had last week off. They beat USF. That game was at home, and they beat Western Kentucky. All actually reasonable wins against FBS teams, but at the same time, it is not playing the Georgia Bulldogs, that's for sure, and Kirby Smart. Georgia coming off of a win 2 weeks ago against Kentucky. It was a baseball-style game, 13-12 in Lexington. That game on the road, and of course that opening performance at the Georgia Dome against Clemson took a very tight game at halftime and blew Clemson out of the water 34-3 as a 10.5-point favorite. Now we could say, well, Clemson is this and Clemson that and Dabo and transfer portal and all that stuff. But look at Clemson since then. They have the highest scoring offense in the nation. It's not even close. They are just shredding teams and taking names. So, I think you have to give Georgia some credit. A lot like the win that they had against Oregon in a similar spot a few years ago with Bo Nix. They busted them up in the Georgia Dome, and people were like, well, Oregon's not that good this year. Actually, they were good that year, and they went on to be one of the top 10 ranked teams in the nation. But I'll tell you who was better was Georgia, who went on to win the national championship. This Georgia team is crazy good on defense, and I think this is where this game is going to be won and lost. Great game, just great teams. It all happens in the trenches on the offensive and defensive lines, and both these teams absolutely stacked in those areas. Kentucky rushed for 170 yards on this Georgia defense. It's been a tough 2 weeks of practice with Kirby Smart there. But, at some point you have to almost say maybe Georgia was looking ahead to this. Of course, we saw Etienne get into the lineup for Georgia in that game. We saw Young also move into the lineup in the receiving corps. So these are two big transfers that Georgia got. Of course, Young coming from Miami and Etienne, the younger Etienne, right? His transferring in from Florida. We look at Alabama, Milroe back for another year at quarterback. He is a seasoned veteran at this point in his career. He has, been there, done that, and certainly has played in a lot of big games. Of course, he doesn't have quite the results that some of these other Alabama quarterbacks have had. And the thing is that he can run the football very, very effectively. And I think that is, a great asset to have. You look at that Wisconsin game, 3 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, this guy pretty much is a human stat sheet all onto his own. Of course, the Crimson Tide always loaded, but the thing is they did have a mass exodus through the transfer portal with Saban leaving. We know that DeBoer is a good coach, and he certainly got Washington to the playoffs and even got them all the way to the championship game. But the problem is that, he didn't have the guns there, and I'm not so sure he's got the guns here. I think Alabama's a great team and, of course, a historically great program. Following up a legend at head coach is one of the hardest things to do in all of sports. It generally doesn't work out well, and Alabama's replaced a few of them and has never had any success doing so right out of the gate. When Bear Bryant left, they had a downturn. When Gene Stallings left, they had a downturn. And now, with Nick Saban gone, it's up in the air. They're off to a 3-0 start, but they haven't played, a really tough team yet like this. I tell you, I think the Bulldogs come in loaded, and I think, they've played Bama pretty tough. I think that Kirby Smart, he just has been there and done that a lot more than DeBoer has, and I think he's got the talent to get it done. Buckle up the chin straps for this one, but I'm going to take Georgia, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, be sure to use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. They're 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.